Why isn't there no Latinos in Soul Plane?
There is. The biggest
Good question. That's a good question.
The biggest one.
That's a good question. Let me tell the story. So,
Okay.
when I was working on the project, you know the movie Trading Places?
Trading Places, goddamn.
That's a great movie.
You talking about Eddie Murphy Trading Places?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I was working on the movie
with Dan Aykroyd. What's his name?
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I was close.
So I wrote a concept. Oh, you saw the kid. You know, she's on point. Let's go. So I wrote a concept that was like Trading Places about this kid who like these rich guys who like the airline was down and they gave him there.
Okay.
So I sent it to my agency.
Oh, because they had Soul Plane already, right?
I didn't know at that time.
Okay,
So I wrote this idea and I sent it. And they were like, oh, blah, 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 we think it's a cool idea. And then as they talked to people in Hollywood, they was like, oh, there's a project called Soul Plane.
Yeah, they
I didn't like the name. I didn't like the name. So I was like, yeah, Soul Plane, like, they don't got to be called that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So they were like, yo, but this movie's already going at MGM.
Right.
So if you want, blah, 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 take a meeting with them. So I took a meeting with them and then I ended up getting the movie.
Right.
So
You wanted to did you combine your movie with their movie, and that's what Soul Plane is?
I tried. I tried to a certain extent, and you know.
But they didn't buy your script or anything like that, or
They didn't buy my script, but they might hate me for this story.
Okay.
So anyway,
Soul Plane 2, your script. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, the Soul Plane crashes in Puerto Rico, and
so
thank you.
I felt the story needed rewrites.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, the movie needs rewrites, rewrites. And they had me meet with a bunch of writers. So I met with these 2 black writers and the Asian kid. They were like a team.
Right.
And I was like, these guys are the guys, this shit is the funniest version of the movie.
Right.
And I was like, we're going with them. They pitched us a movie, it was fucking great, blah, blah, blah. And then cut to like a month later, cut to like a month later, and I'm sitting in the conference room, and there's like a dude that's not them on the other side of the room, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, change.
Is the writer?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna do these changes. He's telling me everything these 3 kids
didn't tell you.
No, the same thing they told me.
He just jacked their shit?
Yeah. So I was like, yo. So this was like my first like Hollywood moment. I was like, yo, I can't do this. Like, these kids, I was just like, yo, we got you, you know what I mean? Like, they gave us the best idea. And this dude is giving me all the ideas.
Same exact ideas.
So I called my agent.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not right. This kid just stole their ideas.
Right.
So when I went to the studio, they were like, he's just a better writer. Like, meaning these kids were so young, they're not good writers. So I said, why the fuck did you have them meet with me? To steal their shit?
Right.
Is that the concept here? So I was like, yo, I told my agent, and he stuck by me. You know what I mean? Charles King. And Charles King's an incredible fucking dude.
Right.
And we fought it. And then they let those kids write the movie.
Oh, so
the 3 kids came back. They did the rewrites. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, yo, I can't stomach this if I ever saw them again. Yeah. So we started writing it. So at some point, I was like, before we cast Kevin or whatever, I was working with Chris Robinson. So let's go back to that story.
Okay.
Right. So I was working with Chris Robinson writing concepts. So Chris would do like a retreat every year. Like he was like, let's do a retreat for the robot films.
Okay.
Let's go to Brazil.
Fire.
But it didn't happen that way. What happened was
Fire. Not fire.
No. Chris took us to Mexico, man.
Okay.
But that particular story, what happened was that Chris was like, when I saw Snoop. And this is another story. I met Snoop outside of the music business.
Okay.
On some street shit.
Okay, wow.
I met him outside of the music business. But I go to the MTV Awards, I'm nominated, I'm fucking with Chris. I see Snoop, so we were like talking, and Snoop's like, yo, I got you, my brother, I'm gonna give you a bag tomorrow, call me, blah, blah, blah. So Chris was like, yo, like he had never been to Snoop's house before. Snoop was like, come to his house tomorrow.
Right.
We had the MTV Awards. He was the biggest artist in the world.
Right.
So Chris was like, damn, I did like 4 videos with Snoop, I never been to his house.
Wow.
So Chris was like, yo, I'm gonna rock with you, I'm gonna go to the house. So we go to Snoop's house, and Snoop is like, he starts playing a bunch of music, and he gives me a job. Well, where was I going with the story? I wasn't going.
He was asking you about why no Latinos in soul playing.
Yeah.
That's where it all started.
Yes. So no, this is where it's going. I just want to make
But
sure.
you ended up in Brazil, so that's good.
No, but this is where it's going. So Snoop is like he plays me a song that he gives me out of his heart, 150 grand in that era.
I think I know where you might be going with this.
So he gives me 150 grand in that era
Right.
to do a video for him.
Right.
I was nominated at the MTV Awards for Jill Scott, Long
Right.
Walk.
Right.
And I see Snoop at the MTV. Well, he was the biggest rapper in the world.
Right.
And he sees me and Snoop, like I said, I met him in the street. So he shows me mad love and everybody's like, yo, how do you know Snoop? You know what I mean? And Snoop's like, yo, he says random stories. Like, we ain't just fucked the same bitches, but it was just random shit.
I wasn't ready.
Maybe he was fucking some bitches I didn't know about. My girls.
Right.
But he just said it as a joke. But everybody was confused of how I knew Snoop, but I had met him.
They couldn't connect you guys. Right.
They couldn't connect, but when he invited me to his house to take care of me, and Snoop showed me the love, he said, yo, I'm gonna give you a video. Come to my house tomorrow. Chris was like, yo, shit, you going to Snoop's house? So Chris came with me, and he played the song he wanted me to do the video. And Snoop out of his, Snoop, I love Snoop Dogg.
Right.
He gave me the money out of his love and said, yo, I'm gonna fucking push Jessy Terrero forward. He gave me a job, I did it. But while we were at his house, Chris Robinson, at that time, Dan Martell, which I worked with, did a video for Snoop's that album. And then Chris was like, yo, what's up? Like, Chris was working with Snoop. And Snoop was like, yo, Chris, man, I saved this best shit for you. And he pressed play to Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And when he played Beautiful, we were like, holy shit. So I was like, yo, let's go to DR. We were talking about a bunch of places, and nobody had ever been to Brazil.
That's why I knew it.
So we were like, fuck it, let's go to Brazil. So we ended up going to Brazil, and Snoop and Chris Robinson, that moment, said, you know what, his retreat for every year was gonna be Brazil.
I would have changed it to that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
did a
he
work
brought
retreat.
everybody to Brazil. So we went to Brazil. So when I was in Brazil, that's when the news of Soul Plane was coming out. And Snoop was like, yo, Jess, we was like having a Snoop session, and he was like, I want to fly the plane, dog. And at that point, we had already cast John Witherspoon.
Oh,
John
shit.
Witherspoon was going to fly
That's
the
a
plane.
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, he was going to fly the plane.
Pops, right?
He was
For
going to
Friday.
fly the
for Friday.
plane.
Okay.
He already was cast.
All right. Okay.
So Snoop was like, yo, I want to fly the plane, dog. So, we were so fucked up. I was like, we were high as shit. I was like, you don't fly the plane.
This sounds perfect.
I was like, I know, but I told him, you don't really fly the plane, dog.
Right.
But he was like, I want to fly the plane. So I went back to MGM and I said, yo,
Snoop wants to fly the
Snoop
plane.
wants to fly the plane. And the MGM guys were like, they were, man, super corporate, and they were like, oh, he's a gangbanger, he's this, he's that. I was like, have you ever met Snoop Dogg? Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, I was like, look, do me one favor. Let's go to Snoop's house, have one meeting with Snoop, and if you feel different, then whatever. So then Snoop invited us to the church. He has his house, he had the church.
Yeah.
They invited us to the church, and they were getting searched on the way in. So this is incredible. Like, they were getting patted down. And we went in, and Snoop was so funny. They had an incredible time with Snoop.
Right.
So they were like, yo, so they went with Snoop. So after we cast that, I had a little more strength because it's like now I got Snoop.
Right.
Because Kevin Hart, you got to think about it, he wasn't a star at that moment.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
I fought for Kevin because
I think he
thought
only had Paper Soldiers. That's with me too. I'm also in that movie.
Oh,
He drank Hennessy before that too.
I was supposed to do Paper Soldiers.
Yeah. But go ahead.
No, so when we ended up casting Snoop, we had John Witherspoon,
Okay.
Monique, a bunch of people. Kevin was one of the last pieces too because Kevin wasn't a star at that time.
Right.
So I told the studio, I said, hey, and this was crazy because I told him, I said, I was Latino. Yo, let me tell
Well,
you.
you had to tell the studio you was a Latino? They didn't know?
No, but let me tell you, when I told them,
Right. Oh, because why? Is this over the phone?
no, when I in my meetings, I had an office at MGM.
That's why they wanted to fire you after that.
Yes, almost. Almost.
Wait,
Because
what?
their eyes were like, holy shit.
You're not black?
You're not black?
This is how clueless they are about the diversity.
They were like,
Oh, I'm not getting what you're saying. Now I understand. Okay.
How can I do a movie if I'm not black? It's a black movie.
Right.
So they were like hiring me because I was doing hip hop videos. They thought I was black, and when I told them I was Latino, they were like, yo.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, chill.
That's
chill.
hilarious.
It's gonna be okay. I mean, the black community loves me. But they were so worried. I was like, yo, what the fuck? but I did tell them because they were like, I said, look, man, I can't do this movie if I don't put Latino characters in it because I got to at least show part of my culture. And so I wrote a stewardess that had one line, and I wrote these 2 Latino kids that worked like baggage check. And they were like, fuck that. They were trying to go on the plane, so they snuck inside the baggage claim thing.
Oh, shit.
So MGM was like, you know, we read your changes in the script and the Latino 2 male characters, they're a no-go. But the hot Latina stewardess, she's a go with the one line. So I was like, okay. So I told the casting director, you know, with Yuli, they were like, what do you want? I said, I sent them a video with Sofia Vergara because she was popping in Colombia. I said, yo, I want a Sofia Vergara type. And then all of a sudden, they worked it out, and she came into the casting.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit, it's fucking Sofia Vergara. And you know,
The real one.
The real one.
She was a Spanish star.
You wanted the fake
She
one.
hadn't crossed over yet?
You wanted the AI one. You wanted the AI one.
One line. I just wanted a Sofia Vergara
Nah,
type.
that's crazy. She hadn't crossed over
She was
yet.
a novela star, not an American
No,
star.
she hasn't crossed over. This is in 20 years.
So this is her first crossover.
English
That's
thing, yeah.
dope.
Wait, so it's 20 years ago?
Yeah.
More than that.
20,
I didn't even realize
22.
that.
Yeah, we're old, bro.
Because it's such a classic.
22 years ago.
It feels like it came out last year every year.
So when she walked into the room, I was like, it's Sofia Vergara. I wanted a Sofia Vergara type. It was one sentence.
How did she get in the cast?
So I was like, you know, Ulysses, you know, flower time. But they got her to come in. So I was like, wow. So I told Sofia, I said, you want to be in this movie? She said, you know, her son had read it.
Right.
She had a son young, so she had a son that had read it, and she hadn't done American movies. So she was like, oh, I want to do it. So I said, you know what? You want to be in this movie? I'm going to put you in this entire movie. Now, I rewrote the movie, and that's why she's one of the stars of the movie.
AI, I'm looking for, like, Latino presence, and I was like, I didn't even realize that because you
And
know
then she was in your face.
Yeah, but you know, she's so embedded in my brain. I didn't even think like that.
You good on Princess Song that rewrote you the whole movie.
So you brought her to the movie?
Yeah, the cast
That's
of the
dope.
movie.
No, my brother, because they try to hate on him, and then
That's right. 'Cause you said you brought. Right.
Sheila co-signed, and she had the studio comfortable, and he ran the whole thing.
And I still have the video of that too. Her audition, she had like 2 lines. It's mind blowing. Her little 2 lines. Then Jessy was like 10 pages.
Let me tell you, Sofia, because she was a novella star at the time, she was gigantic, beautiful, fucking, you know, she was ready to be a star.
Right.
She would come to set, and because maybe in the Spanish television, they did whack makeup, you know what I mean? She would do her own makeup. And I would tell her, like, yo, there's makeup artists in the trailer. This is a studio movie.
Right.
No, está bien.
Yes.
And she would just chill. And she didn't, you know, she had this thing where it was beautiful because she was like beautiful and hot, but she had this like force field that made you feel like I want to be cool with her, but not say no stupid shit. Like, she had
Like she commanded respect.
Yeah, she was cool.
She bite people.
She bite people?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah,
You know what's interesting is that an interesting anecdote is that when I worked with Diane, she did Meth and Mary during the time.
Diane Martell, rest in peace.
Meth and Mary.
We cast.
And Method Man is in Soul Plane.